Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm Ashwin. Today we have with us Sudeep Menon, who is a writer of comics. He's written several comics like Incognito and Zalim Manjha and Yagya, the demon princess, and Satyug. These are the only ones I know that you have written for Bullseye and Swayambhu. Have you written any others?
Uh, I'm working with Radiant Comics.
Okay.
I don't think I can reveal the title yet because the formal title reveal has not been done yet. I'm working with Radiant
Correct.
Comics.
Okay.
बस यहाँ वहाँ पे थोड़ी बात चल रही है अभी और कुछ नहीं.
Acha, nice. So let's start at the beginning, right? What about your childhood? How were you raised? What was your life like? How was your school life? Is there anything memorable or relevant to what we are talking about now, or just generally?
I was not much of a troublemaker.
Acha,
नॉटी वोटी था नहीं, लास्ट बेंचर था नहीं. लास्ट बेंचर के लाइफ बहुत औसम होते हैं. उनको बहुत सारे किस्से होते हैं, बहुत सारे किस्से शेयर करने होते हैं. आई अनफॉर्चुनेटली कैसा होता कि जिस क्लास में मैं था,
हाँ.
मेरी मॉम वही क्लास की टीचर थी. तो बाय डिफॉल्ट मेरे को तो मतलब अच्छा बच्चा बन के बैठना ही पड़ता था फर्स्ट
Correct,
बेंच पे.
correct.
अभी मस्ती करूँ तो बदनाम, ना मस्ती करूँ तो दोस्त लोग के बीच में बदनाम. अरे ये तो टीचर का बेटा है, शराफत शराफत का मोम पुतला है, क्या कर मस्ती करेगा.
Correct,
तो I was always, by childhood I was always into sketching and drawing and stuff.
correct.
I was always fascinated by, I cannot say fascinated by art and all that ऐसा नहीं, but I used to love sketching. पढ़ाई में एकदम बेकार था. My mom used to tell me, please pass होके आ जा, मुझे मेरे ही नाम तो बदनाम मत करो यार बस.
Correct.
Dad was like, at least 12th दे, उसके बाद मैं कुछ नहीं बोलूंगा तेरे को.
Correct. So
And my
that's a
brother,
very
my elder brother,
that's a very
sorry,
Indian thing to do, no? Like, तो 12th कर ले, बाद में कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे.
very Indian thing to do, absolutely.
हाँ.
हमारे वो इंडियन अर्ली 12वीं पास कर ले, बाकी कुछ नहीं.
Exactly.
My elder brother was the opposite. He was very good in study.
अच्छा, okay.
So there has to be a cosmic balance, no? There has to be a universal balance. एक अच्छा है तो दूसरा बेकार है, and
Correct.
all that.
हाँ.
So I think I was the one who was the bekar one. My brother was the one who was a nice one.
Nice.
Childhood, so yeah. And I think I was good. I was always fascinated, had this liking towards arts.
Correct.
That I think relevance तो अभी है ही है. फिर कॉमिक शुरू हो गया, फिर अब तक यहाँ पे आ गया. कॉमिक्स ने मुझे यहाँ पे लाके
When did you
बिठा
start?
दिया.
When did you start reading comics actively?
Did I start reading comics? I think it started. I remember the first comic that I read. it it was a issue of Superman
Ah, okay.
and Batman together, like not
Correct.
together inside a comic book, like एक story.
अच्छा,
First half of the book like Superman,
Superman. हाँ.
and second half was a Batman.
अच्छा, okay.
Batman, that was my first Batman comic that I read,
Okay.
and it was Batman fighting against Black Spider करके कोई विलन था. मेरे को नहीं पता, कुछ याद
हाँ.
नहीं है मेरे को.
Correct.
बट मेरा भाई ने बोला ये बैटमैन पढ़, बैटमैन वो ना अमिताभ बच्चन की तरह पंच मारता. आई मीन बैक इन,
Correct.
आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट बैक इन दोस डेज, व्हेन लाइक
हाँ.
अमिताभ बच्चन वाज स्टिल दी,
Correct.
आई मीन.
हाँ.
तो वो कहता वो अमिताभ बच्चन की तरह फाइट कर.
हाँ.
बोला ये कौन सा आदमी है यार जो अमिताभ बच्चन की तरह फाइट कर. आई थिंक दैट वाज द बेस्ट डिस्क्रिप्शन दैट माय ब्रदर गिव. अमिताभ बच्चन की तरह फाइट करता. आई वाज लाइक ओके, and I
हाँ.
opened the comic and I just fell in because he actually fights.
हाँ.
Superman
Correct.
कैसा है, he will save the world.
Correct.
ज्यादा से ज्यादा एलियन को उठा के स्पेस में छोड़
ठीक.
देगा,
Correct.
यहाँ पे मत आओ, तुम बाहर निकल जाओ, ऐसा है उसका.
Correct.
बट
Correct.
दिस गाय एक्चुअली फाइट्स. तो
Correct.
दैट वाज द फर्स्ट कॉमिक. आई डोंट नो द इशू नंबर, आई डोंट नो वेयर डिड माय ब्रदर गेट इट फ्रॉम.
हाँ.
एंड या वहां से मतलब कॉमिक्स का फर्स्ट कॉमिक्स का किस्सा पूरा शुरू हो गया पूरा.
I want to ask you this, and I don't know if, like, when you were young, you're a kid from Bombay only, no? You've grown up
Yes,
in Bombay, you've born and brought up in Bombay. Everything is
yes.
is in
Amchi
Bombay.
Mumbai,
Huh.
Amchi
So
Mumbai, still a Mumbaikar at heart.
you've just been out for what, 6 months?
Yeah, Mumbai.
So you've been born and brought up in Bombay. Let's say at least until your teen years, did you ever read any comics that were Hindi comics, like Indian comics?
Yes, I read a lot of Doga and Nagraj.
Acha,
I used
you
to
got Dogan on.
I used to read a lot of Doga because I used to like that big gun that he had.
Acha, okay.
Till now I don't till now I couldn't figure out वो कौन सा गन है, वो M16 है क्या है, वो मेरे को नहीं पता, but मेरे को वो अच्छा लगता है. It's like this huge cannon thing that he holds.
Correct, correct.
That was, and actually Mumbai में हिंदी comics मिलना बहुत tough था.
Exactly.
I used to get the comic books only in a second-hand bookstore.
Okay. Acha, correct.
And पुराने रेलवे अंधेरी स्टेशन के सामने एक बुक स्टोर होता था, वहां पे मिलता था मेरे को.
Correct, correct.
And उसके उसके I used to find those very rarely.
Correct.
Chacha Chaudhary
Right.
used to read Diamond Comics.
Correct.
I still remember I read Diamond Comics ka after Chacha Chaudhary. The second comic book I actually read was Mahabali Shaka.
Okay. I don't think I've ever read any Mahabali Shaka.
I have read Mahabali Shaka. I have read a few of Agniputra and Abhay. Agniputra Abhay, yes, something.
Acha. Okay, nice.
सुपरमैन बैटमैन हमेशा तो मिलता नहीं है ना.
Correct.
ठीक है, चलो एक काम करता है, I would love to read, and I actually kind of enjoyed reading this. उसमें भी
Right.
एक्शन था.
Correct.
बचपन में हम लोग को और क्या चाहिए, लाइफ में थोड़ा एक्शन ही चाहिए.
Correct.
जब रियल में एक्शन मिलता है तो बोलते हैं नहीं चाहिए, नहीं चाहिए, नहीं चाहिए.
Correct. The first time I met you, right? I have known you as an artist, not as a writer. Like the first time I met you, I think I met you in I don't know where I met you, but I met you somewhere, and then you had all these sketches of. So there were these assassins. No, not assassins. There was one assassin, and he was going around killing people in a chawl or something, and then there was stuff happening, and you had drawn that, right? You had drawn that. You were not.
Yes, actually, I had.
I don't know you I didn't know you back then as a writer. I knew you as as an artist, right? Which is, I don't know if that's what you had decided to become, but that's what I knew you as. And so what I want to know is, when did you decide to become a writer? Like, did you know right from the beginning that you were going to be a writer and art was just a means of getting there, or was, was writing?
No. Writing was like I said, I was fascinated by drawings. I was fascinated by this whole concept of telling stories with pictures.
Correct.
तो ऐसे मैं कुछ भी बना लेता था. It was not as good as the art that you see in the comics right now. I mean, you worked with so many Deep Joy, whether it's Tadam, Deep Joy, or whoever. Not as good as them, but I used to draw.
Correct.
But I have a problem, and I guess that's one of my biggest flaws, is I don't have the patience to draw.
Okay. I think
I didn't have the patience to draw, and there was nobody to teach me at least the basics of a sequential art.
Correct.
Sequential art is a different creature to deal with.
Right.
Yeah, so I didn't have that, and I didn't have the patience for it. So
correct.
I used to do some graphic designs, but the itch to write was always there. And those were the toughest times because I was going through some personal issues related to my mom's health.
Right.
And I knew a person, Aritra, and she told me, listen, there's a guy called Ravi. He has just launched this thing, and Ashwin is already writing. Why don't you send your stuff?
Correct.
And I was like, okay, I'll send my stuff. And it seems that he already knew me. But before meeting Ravi, let me also tell you this. I wrote a story, not my original concept, for Fennel Comics, for Fennel Shetty ji. उनके लिए लिखा था मैंने. It was an adaptation of a movie. तो मैंने Fennel उनके लिए लिखा था मैंने.
Right.
फिर उसके बाद I started, okay, you know what? I'll just write down whatever ideas I have.
Correct.
I will just vomit it out on paper.
Correct.
मिला तो मिला, नहीं तो नहीं.
Correct.
क्या करने का? तो मैं बोला ठीक है चलो. Then I sent some of my stuff to Raj Comics. I had just written my number. email में मैंने नाम के नीचे नंबर लिखना था. जो होता देखा जाए.
Correct.
I get a call from the great Sanjay Gupta.
From Sanjay Gupta.
And I was like, Of okay. Yes. तो पहले तो मेरे को ये नहीं समझा कि, and I'm sure I've told this before, but I'll tell you again. तो मतलब उसमें कुछ बात कर रहा था and he kept saying कोई नहीं कोई नहीं।
हाँ।
मतलब कोई नहीं मतलब क्या होता है? पहले बात तो मेरे को ये समझा नहीं, मैं तो पक्का मुंबई वाला, मेरे को नहीं
हाँ,
पता दिल्ली का ये सब, ये
करेक्ट।
एक्सेंट्स एंड समथिंग।
हाँ।
हाँ ठीक है, मैं बाद में मैं एक दोस्त को पूछा,
हाँ।
he was from Delhi, कोई नहीं मतलब कोई नहीं मतलब नो प्रॉब्लम ऐसा।
अच्छा।
अच्छा ठीक। So I wrote some Doga diary short stories for
राइट, राइट।
Accompany.
ओके।
And then after that, yeah, there was a break,
हम्म।
and then I met Ravi,
हाँ।
and the whole kissa with Bullseye started off with Inferno.
करेक्ट।
So
राइट।
I don't know. I mean, to tell you that writing was not a planned thing.
करेक्ट।
I simply did not have the patience to learn,
हाँ।
unfortunately, or I don't know how to say it. I did not have someone to even teach me,
करेक्ट।
and I don't think my dad could. I don't know. No disrespect to him. I mean, but uh, कोई बाहर के स्कूल में सीक्वेंशियल आर्ट सीखने के लिए उतना पैसा भी नहीं,
करेक्ट।
तो उतना मेरा नहीं पैसा था, नहीं मेरा औकात था, तो मैं बोला ठीक है, वॉट एवर आइडियाज है लेट मी राइट इट डाउन,
करेक्ट। करेक्ट।
एंड दैट्स हाउ दिस होल थिंग स्टार्टेड एक्चुअली।
नाइस।
तो that's it, that's how it's all began, I guess. So it was, I don't know, is it planned, not planned, मेरे को तो नहीं लगता प्लान था, हो
करेक्ट।
गया।
So when it comes to stories, right? So there are two kinds of storytellers. One is people who, so there are plotters and there are pansters, which is plotters are people who definitely create a story from start to end before actually writing down anything. Versus pansters, who are people who just write and write and write and write, and then they get to an end. Like they don't plan for it, they don't do anything. So when it comes to you, right? What kind of stories do you write? Like, do you plan everything in your head before putting pen to paper, or do
No,
you?
I don't plan anything.
Nice.
Which one is you? And now I'm curious to ask you this.
I think I plan. I think I plan. At least in my head, I'm thinking, okay, this will happen after this, and this will happen after this.
Yeah, that is
Huh.
something, that's a route even I take.
Correct.
But
Correct.
sometimes the thing is, and I'm sure you would be relating to it.
Huh.
Sometimes होता ये है कि I write it
Huh.
and I leave it.
Huh.
After 1 week or maybe after some days, you read it again and say, what the fuck did I just write?
Correct.
फाड़ के
Now,
निकाल के फिर से नया लिखो. So
nice.
I start क्या है, end क्या है, but there are in between that I think that's where we all get a bit, the
Huh.
things get tricky. The
Correct.
in between, you have the start, you have the end, but the
Correct.
in between,
Right.
and that's where the whole challenge starts, to make it more enticing, to make it more interesting.
Right.
So sometimes I am more of, I don't know, I don't follow this thing,
Correct.
and once I feel that okay, I've written something,
Huh.
I am somewhat satisfied with it,
Okay.
I send it to the publisher. अगर उसको अच्छा लगता है तो ठीक है.
Huh.
I'm sure they have a different way of looking at the script,
Correct.
the
Correct.
whole plot. Like I said, मेरा कोई ऐसा ये नहीं है, मैं तो trained
Huh.
writer भी नहीं हूँ.
Correct.
I'm not trained. I'm not the one who keeps reading different stuff.
I
And
don't I don't think any writer in India is trained. Any comic book writer in India is trained. I think
at
comic
least in India, yeah, no. I think it's the passion that drives them.
हाँ,
The
exactly.
passion that drives them. It is this क्या कहते हैं, wilt, ये मेरा, मैंने लिख रहा हूँ ये.
हाँ,
I don't
exactly.
know. I guess it's a passion. Yes. Yeah.
Right. Correct. Okay. So, of course, you already told me how you write, but what is your basic approach to writing? Like, if you had to spell out everything in terms of this comes after this comes after this comes after this, like from conception to execution, what is your approach to the whole thing? Like you pick up a, not even before you pick up a paper and a pen, in your head you're thinking, and up to the point where the artwork starts, right? Or even after the artwork starts and lettering is completed, what is your way of thinking, or your way of writing, or your approach to the whole process?
My approach to the whole process, it's very unorthodox. It's very unorthodox. It's okay. Like I said, everything starts with an idea.
Correct.
सब कुछ तो आइडिया से ही शुरू होता है यार.
हाँ.
मेरे मन में इसके बारे में एक स्टोरी लिखी,
Correct.
एक एक कैरेक्टर के बारे में स्टोरी.
Right.
ठीक है, यू हैव द कैरेक्टर, यू
हाँ.
हैव टू टेल अ स्टोरी. व्हाट नेक्स्ट? I will give him some challenges. I will create his uh, life a miserable hell, or I will give him a nice girl to romance with.
Hmm.
And one after another, I'll just start putting layers and layers and layers.
Correct.
That's what I would do. So, approach is to at least keep adding layers,
हाँ.
adding some challenges to him, give him some challenges, make his life a miserable hell. I don't know how to say that in a nice technical language, but if
That's
it's
okay.
my character, I'm gonna treat him
Right.
or her very, very, very harshly, very badly.
Okay.
So that's how I at least begin, and बाकी क्या है कि okay, I don't know. There's one thing that has always driven me, uh, is the fact that we are working in an Indian comic book. This thing. There is a story I want to tell,
Hmm. Correct.
and it should be something. I'm not saying that not everybody will not like it. That's for sure. We
Correct.
are in a profession where जरूरी नहीं है सबको अच्छा लगेगा अपना,
Yeah, exactly.
and we have to accept it.
Correct.
ठीक है. So मैं ये लिखना कि ठीक है, एटलीस्ट जब कोई भी कैसा है, अभी कोई भी कॉमिक बुक कॉन में आता है या व्हाटएवर बुक स्टोर में आता है, बुक उठा के ऐसा नहीं, अरे ये अच्छा है. वी
हाँ.
डोंट हैव दैट एडवांटेज. कवर में बैटमैन देखा या मार्वल का लोगो देखा तो उठा के लेके जाएंगे. वी डोंट हैव दैट एडवांटेज.
Correct.
तो एटलीस्ट वो पेजेस फ्लिप करने के टाइम या पीछे का वो छोटा सा वर्क पढ़ने के टाइम एटलीस्ट थोड़ा तो उसको इंटरेस्टिंग लगे.
Hmm. Hmm.
ओके, यू नो व्हाट, आई विल गिव दिस. So that is the first thought that I always keep in mind, to at least make my stories interesting.
Okay.
Whether it takes with the readers or not, that comes later.
Correct.
And then obviously the skeleton of this,
हाँ.
and then adding more, fleshing out more and more till it reaches a time where I tell myself I cannot do anything more to it.
Okay.
That's the only thing. वही है मेरा, like I said, unorthodox style.
Correct.
What about you?
What was my question? I forgot what my question was.
What is your approach to writing? How do you go about it?
My approach to writing.
मैंने इतना बोर किया क्या, you forgot the question?
नहीं. I was so invested in your answer, I forgot what the question was. I don't know how I process the story. I basically I think most of my work is done before putting pen to paper. Like I think for 6 months before I actually sit down and write, and probably after that, in the 7th month, I finish writing and send it out. I don't think I have a process that way.
I think that's common with most of the people, like you said.
Exactly.
Nobody has a process. I
Correct.
mean, those who are who must have done some, I don't know, must have attended some course about writing, or about some कोई college school में गया रहेगा about writing. They will
Correct.
have a proper structure, maybe
way of working, thinking,
way of
all of that.
working. ठीक है, which is good. Which is good, but our way of doing things is also a way of doing things.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, as long as people are buying the stuff, it's fine. I don't think it's
Yeah.
which brings me to the question: how do you deal with, like you mentioned before, right? Like some people might not like what you write. How do you
Mhm.
deal with that criticism? Like what like when you see something bad written about your work, how do you deal with it?
क्या करने का, पढ़ लेने का, कुछ नहीं कर सकता. स्क्रीन के पीछे किसको जाके मार सकता हूँ मैं? स्क्रीन के पीछे जाके क्या उखाड़ सकता हूँ मैं? वो तो लिख के जाएगा, हम लोग क्या कर सकते हैं? I actually see criticism is good, healthy criticism. कि यार, if tomorrow if you tell me, Sudeep, ये story में you could have treated something like this, or if I tell you, Ashwin, I liked this,
but this
but
could
there
have
are
been
some this could have been better, or I would treat it this.
correct.
That is fine. In fact, that is the most amazing thing a creative person can do.
Right.
No, we
Positive
should
feedback.
accept.
Correct.
I remember when I wrote Zalim Manja, was it one or two? I don't remember. Two. Somebody had written, अच्छी स्टोरीज लिखने की औकात नहीं है तो लिखते क्यों?
These are the worst kinds. Yeah.
तो मैंने बोला ठीक है, नहीं देगा मेरा औकात, अभी मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ, बट आई डिड नॉट रिप्लाई, मैं रिप्लाई नहीं करता
करेक्ट।
क्रिटिसिज्म्स को कि इफ देयर कैन आई, इज देयर समथिंग दैट, is there something that I can take
हाँ,
and I can use that to improve my craft,
करेक्ट।
I will.
हाँ,
But जब तक वो लिखेगा कि यार ये क्यों लिखता है and all that, fine, I cannot do anything.
राइट, राइट।
हाँ, as long as that person मेरे माँ बाप के पीछे नहीं जाएगा या
करेक्ट।
मेरे भाई बंधु के पीछे नहीं जाएगा,
हाँ।
I can take it. But there's a certain line that critic
हम्म।
should not cross. And I think most of the people have crossed and will not cross. Some of them have crossed,
राइट।
some of them will not cross as well.
करेक्ट।
तो ठीक है, अभी मैं क्या उखाड़ सकते हैं हम लोग स्क्रीन पे, क्या कर सकते हैं? So, I mean, I don't know.
हाँ,
Somebody had written.
हाँ,
I read your comment. Somebody had written, मेरे को राज रहमान बोरिंग लगा.
हाँ।
And you said, okay, sorry यार. And that's the best way to do it, no? Because
करेक्ट।
ठीक है, तेरे को नहीं लगा, sorry. कुछ नहीं कर. Not everything you write is
एग्जैक्टली।
uh, that is. कभी
राइट।
टिक होता है, कभी टिक नहीं होता. Okay.
हाँ, करेक्ट। Yeah, this is true. You can't do much if they're saying it nicely. But if they're saying it
Yeah,
weirdly, you can just ignore them. I don't think there's much you need to do.
you can always there's no other way. You can ignore them. हाँ, कोई like I said, कोई personal नहीं जाना चाहिए.
हाँ,
There's a
correct.
line that should not be crossed.
Right.
That's
So when you're writing down stuff, right? When you're writing a story, when you're writing anything, or when you're working in your field, what is the most difficult part of your process? Like you have a whole process. What is like out of all of them, what is the most difficult part?
Hmm. Sometimes trying to express
हाँ,
what you have in your head
correct.
to the artist is sometimes I feel a bit difficult.
Okay,
And
okay,
that's the best way to, in fact, I would tell best way is to, even if you have zero drawing skills,
correct.
scribble it,
Sketch. Correct, correct,
sketch it out. Doesn't matter if you draw a stick figure or if you draw some
correct.
looking face on a paper, but
हाँ,
do it.
no,
Chalega.
I'm fine.
That's another thing to do.
Okay, okay.
And sometimes, unfortunately, आई हैव, मेरा जो जितने लोग के साथ मैंने काम किया है,
हाँ,
सो फार मेरे को किसी के साथ प्रॉब्लम हुआ नहीं,
okay, okay.
सो फार. बट आई एम श्योर आगे जाके पता नहीं. आगे जाके पता नहीं. अब तक तो ठीक चल रहा है. सो हाँ, एंड डेडलाइंस इज समथिंग दैट ऑल आई एम श्योर ऑल ऑफ
So here's the thing, right?
डेडलाइन.
You
या
say you have trouble with deadlines, but as far as I have known you, as for
हम्म.
as long as I have known you, you have always been very quick in sending your scripts. Like एक month में तेरा process पूरा खत्म हो जाता है, full.
दैट अ गुड थिंग और अ बैड थिंग?
That's a very good thing. I mean, turning out a script in 1 month is not. It's very good. I don't know how you do it, but it's
कुछ
a
नहीं, मैं बेकार है ना, मेरे पास डे जॉब नहीं है.
वो मैं भी बेकार ही है मेरे पास भी
अरे भैया सुरेश, रमेश. नहीं, बट मे बी माई वे ऑफ डिफरेंट,
राइट.
डिफरेंट है हम लोग दोनों का, लाइक.
हाँ, of course we are
तो भी,
different. Yeah, but
तो बट अभी अभी धीरे धीरे वो प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, बिकॉज आई ऑल्सो टेक सम टाइम टू थिंक एंड ऑल दैट.
okay.
एंड इनफैक्ट आई थिंक, आई डोंट नो, मे बी यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द स्टफ दैट आई हैव रिटन फॉर बुलseye or in
I
general.
I think
I
in
think it's with bullseye. I think it's with
स्वयंभू
bullseye.
स्वयंभू के लिए भी I think so. When I have spoken to Bhupinder, who's the editor of Swayambhu, I have
Hmm.
known him to like he says you give your scripts pretty quick. There's no delay in scripts. He says there are a lot of iterations, of course, but your
Hmm.
scripts usually come in a week,
Hmm.
and then there are changes and
क्या
more
करेगा, पैसा
changes.
चाहिए ना.
ये बात है. But yeah, he says you're pretty quick. So I don't know. Whoa, what is this whole thing? How do you write so quickly?
तो मेरे को मिक्की से बात कराना पड़ेगा. मेरे को इतने राज खोल रहा है मेरे मिक्की. मिक्की. ऐसा. तो no, I mean, I have ideas. I put it down on paper.
Correct.
And panels मेरे मन में
Panels
जो
क्या?
है, मैं स्क्रिप्ट के टाइम ही सोच समझता हूँ. सो एवरीथिंग स्टार्ट्स है,
Right.
एवरीथिंग स्टार्ट्स है. इसलिए पैनल्स का जो ब्रेक डाउन है, जो
Correct.
सीन है, मेरे को क्या कैमरा व्यू, In fact, when I started off with the scripting, I never knew anything about proper shots and all. It
Huh.
was one of my artists. It
Huh.
was Laura Zucchieri who actually taught me how the shots are important.
Correct.
Why shots are important. You don't have to be a cinematographer, but you need to at
Correct.
least be clear in what you describe.
Right.
You have to be very precise and at least clear. So
Hmm.
कभी कभी क्या होता है? Sometimes I write,
Hmm.
and again, this might not be a proper approach.
Correct.
And sometimes I see, you know what, artist ने किया है अच्छा, but I'll have to change it. तो वो मैं layers के time में करता हूँ. It's better to do it at the layered time of the. कभी कभी ऐसा भी होता है कि मैंने काफी लोग को चेंज किया है, गाली भी मिला मेरे को. But
Huh.
like I said, है मेरे पास, like once I get the whole pulse of the story, मेरे पास एक आइडिया रहता है and I start putting it, and like I said,
Hmm.
और कोई काम धंधा नहीं है मेरे पास, तो लिखता रहता. I really don't know. Sorry, I really don't know whether it's nice. मेरे को नहीं पता रहेगा. मिकी एकदम बड़ा राज खोला मेरे को डर लग रहा है.
मेरे को काफी लोग ने बोला है. It's not just one
नहीं,
person.
ये अच्छा लोग है. आई मीन दिस कैन गो ऑफ द रिकॉर्ड. नो, अच्छा लोग ने बोला है, अच्छा है कि बुरा है ये.
This
लाइक
is this is good. It's good that you at least, like, if you give one script a month, that's pretty good. I don't see what the problem is. So yeah. Yeah.
मेरे को फिर भी डर लगता है.
So when you're actually reading comics, right, what is your favorite genre of comics? Like, do you like horror or science fiction or fantasy or crime? Obviously crime, but I just want to ask anyway.
It started off with crime. It
Ah,
started off this fascination with crime.
correct.
Uh, uh, I think it started off with this. I read Sin City, Frank Miller's Sin City, and I immensely fell in love with it.
Correct.
You know, you have this right at the beginning of your entire this thing career. You feel like, अरे मैंने इसका काम पढ़ा है, मेरे को भी ऐसे कुछ करना चाहिए. Uh, but then I think it has branched out. I would like to write everything.
Huh.
The only thing that I would actually have a very tough time writing is comedy.
Ah,
I'm not sure whether I can pull it off.
right. Right.
Comedy is a very tough genre to write. But
Yeah.
yeah, these days I don't get much time to read. And सब genre अच्छा लगता है यार. सब कुछ पढ़ने में अच्छा लगता है.
Huh. So I've known you as a crime writer or artist before, and after that, the only things you have written are entirely non-crime. Like everything you've written is so. I think Incognito is mystery, or at least the first one that I've read is mystery. The Satyug thing is supernatural. Zalim Manja is supernatural. Uh, Even Incognito is kind of supernatural, but it seems more like ab kya hoga, that kind of story right at the beginning. I don't know about issue 2. I haven't read issue 2 yet. But
No, but Ishit will say it's no longer a mystery. It goes on a supernatural scale.
okay.
I would like. I would love to write a nice crime noir stuff. In fact, just I'm writing a detective story
Yeah, yeah,
with Chitragada
correct.
with Abhilash ji,
I
and the
know.
artwork has just started.
Nice.
I actually found writing detective. It is fun, but it is also tough. मेरे को नहीं पता आप माहिर हो because आपका तो राज रहमान भी आ गया and
Thank
it's
you.
but still it's sometimes I find it challenging, and therein lies the fun.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
at the end of it, you need to reveal everything.
Correct.
So, but yeah, I would love to write a nice
Crime.
crime noir genre. So I don't know. I hope anyone out there is listening. Vicky, Ravi Babu should listen. Ravi Babu never lets me write the stuff that I want.
Ah,
So yeah, fascination started off with crime and stuff,
okay.
but then I
Moved
think I
on.
branched out and moved on and started writing many stuff. So अभी जो अच्छा लगता है, like if they want, the publishers want
Ah.
that कि यार ये specific directions में जाना चाहिए, so we
So
go on that.
is this a
At the same time,
requirement?
there's also a thing called celebrity.
Exactly. So is this a
At times,
requirement
yes, it
requirement of the publisher, or is
it
it your thing? Like
depends on the publisher. It
Exactly.
depends on the publisher also. Let me tell you this.
Right. Right.
No, it is never my thing. I can make I could have made Incognito a very crime noir story about this one guy who solves problem for everybody.
Correct.
But at the same time, कभी कभी मेरे को एक ये आता ही है, and it's not a bad thing. At the end of the day,
Huh.
a publisher's work
Huh.
is far more on a higher scale than us. हम
Correct.
लोग लिखते हैं, yes.
Hmm.
Artist draws, yes. But a publisher has to market those books, has to sell those books.
Correct.
He or she has to क्या कहते हैं वो advertise those books. And कि भाई बेचना है तो वो सब तो करना, हाथ पाँव तो पीटना ही पड़ेगा उन लोग को.
Correct.
So
Okay.
sometimes it's a requirement for this thing. It depends on publisher to publisher as well.
Right. Right. When it comes to your characters, right? I want to ask you, do you base your characters on real people, or is it just everything is in the head?
I would say there are a lot based on real people.
Okay.
Some of them are.
Okay. Okay.
Incognito starts off with this, how would I say, this guy who was in my college. उसका जो physical frame,
Correct.
और वो ज़माने में he used to wear that long this. I just caught on to that and I started developing.
Okay. Okay.
And Ashwin, I think reality is the best reference around it.
Yeah, I guess so.
You'll get a lot of stuff from reality. उनके छोटे-छोटे traits, उनके characteristics, if you just put it in a character, I think the character would become more amazing when you put little observations that you get from outside world.
Correct. Correct.
So yeah, you can say that few on reality. So अभी किसी को गाली देने का भी मन करेगा, अभी मान लो मेरे को रवि को गाली देने का, अभी मैं मुंह पे तो गाली नहीं दे सकता, मेरे को क्या करेगा, फिर मेरे को पे कौन करेगा स्क्रिप्ट के लिए? ठीक है, बुक में कुछ नाम डाल देने का, मिकी को गाली देना है या किसी और को. That's the best way to get back at them. In fact, for a long time, actually, I mean, now that you're here, and I'm sure that he will watch it soon. I really want to have Kailash as one of my characters. For years and years now, it's been not happening, but I would really have him as a character in one of my comics. And this is my, like, how do you say that, token of friendship to him.
Who are your favorite writers?
Oh my God, there's so many. So many. From comics or like in general?
In general.
From comics only, क्या सिर्फ कोई?
Let's start with non-comics and then move on to comics.
Okay, in non-comics, Malayalam movie director.
Who?
Malayalam movie director, and his name was P. Padmarajan.
Okay.
My brother has read some of his novels.
Okay. In Malayalam or in?
And the way he describes in Malayalam. Yes, in Malayalam. I think some of them has been translated in English.
Okay.
But for me, P. Padmarajan sir was an amazing storyteller.
Right.
A lot of people, obviously, his stories range from love story to crime to noir, also a very non-linear way of storytelling.
Okay.
He is the one. He is on the top. And there was a French crime writer, Jean-Patrick Manchetti.
Okay.
Was one of the best crime writers of French.
Okay.
तो उसका भी काफी सारे books English में आ चुके हैं.
Okay.
And I those are amazing.
Okay.
Comics में तो yes, I mean initial this thing started off with Frank Miller. At least जो initial उनके works थे काफी अच्छे.
Correct.
Also, I was very fortunate to meet the creator of Bahadur, Abid Surti ji.
Abid Surti, correct.
यार ये तो इमेशन नाम्स है मेरे. काफी हैं यार. The list is endless.
Correct. So if I have to ask you about your inspiration, where does your inspiration come from? Does it come from movies, from books, from real life, or just where else?
Real life. See, movie, there is nothing called I mean, like, even if I take some inspiration from real life, it might resemble, अरे ये तो मैंने ये comic में पढ़ा है या मैंने that cannot be helped.
Right.
ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है जब भी हो चुका नहीं है comics. Like everything has been done. Correct. Even if you put out something, people say नहीं यार ये तो वहाँ का है. Correct. Aspect cannot be helped.
Right.
But real life is the biggest reference. I just attended a Comic Con. Bellegarde in France. I was very happy. like very, जो माहौल है वहाँ का comic is amazing.
हाँ
And I was just in a room
हाँ
observing people because in them I saw characters.
correct
And one of my friends, I mean, she is a fellow comic artist, and she came, she came and asked me, "Why are you silent? They
हाँ
speak English too, some of them." I said, "I know, but in
correct
them I see characters." So reality is the biggest reference, and I'm very this thing. Reality से जो मिलता है वो कहीं और नहीं मिलेगा. Observe, just observe.
right
हाँ, but उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप एक खूबसूरत लड़की देखो ताकते रहते हो मार खाओगे.
correct have you ever googled yourself
Oh my God, yes, I have. I don't want to know it. The kind of amazing images that I get is amazing. You know what I get, right?
no
You sure? You know? Oh my God, I get the first images. मतलब गूगल में आता है एक दो इमेज छोटा आता है. उसके बाद में मेरे को एक बार कुछ तो मेरे दोस्त ने लिंक भेजा था मेरे को पता नहीं उसने क्या सर्च किया. जॉनी सिंस का इमेज आया. बोला ठीक है यार अच्छी बात है बहुत
yeah
अच्छी बात है. जॉनी सिंस का कुछ तो आता है. ठीक है. I just hope my dad doesn't even Google Johnny Sins.
let's hope
Johnny Sins का है.
let's
Let's hope
hope
not.
yeah
Johnny Sins, and then I also get Shakal from Shan.
okay okay
So I feel
quite
nice.
has your family read your comics like has your brother read it has your dad read it
My brother has read. My dad no.
huh. yeah
My dad, he has the only comic book that he has read, and not of me. The only comic book is Tintin.
okay
He loves Tintin.
nice
I'm sure. अभी तो मतलब कैसा है कि ठीक है. He I don't know.
huh.
But given a chance, he would love to read Tintin again. He doesn't like Master. I don't think he would. ठीक
हाँ
है. मैं इनफैक्ट सो मेनी टाइम्स कॉमिक घर पे आता है लाइक मेरे को
हाँ
ऑथर कॉपी आता है
correct
एंड आई गिव इट टू हिम. मेरे कॉमिक नया कॉमिक है एंड दिस इज व्हाट ही डज. कुछ नहीं मतलब इतनी बेइज्जती अजीब बेइज्जती. हमारे खुद के पिताजी हमारे बेइज्जती. बट नो ही इज नॉट द काइंड ऑफ गाय हु रीड कॉमिक.
good stuff so in all the works that you've done right what is the hardest thing you have written like what was so difficult to get out of you that it took not just 1 week it took 2 months maybe or maybe 3 months or depending on how long you take
आई थिंक स्टोरी दैट आई रोट फॉर चित्रगाथा गुड्डू बॉम्ब
oh okay
थोड़ा टफ था मेरे.
the detective story
द डिटेक्टिव.
okay why was that because of the intricacies
The
of a
plot,
detective
the
story
the plot. See, I don't. It was my first of. The thing is, you write a specific genre, and जब
correct
आप उसके ऊपर करते जाते हो ना, तो at least you will learn a new things and you will improve on it.
correct
Uh,
right
but that was my first detective
detective
story that I wrote. थोड़ा
right
मेरे को time लगा मेरे को सोचने में और.
okay
So I cannot. I don't know. People will say इतना plot अच्छा नहीं and all that, but I just wanted to make sure right from the dialogues to the paneling and everything. अच्छा, I don't know how much of a good job that I did. That is only something Abhilash can answer. He's publishing the book.
correct
Reviewer मेरे को गाली मिलेगा तो अभी मैं कुछ बोलूंगा नहीं. क्या बोल सकता. But yeah, that was a tough one.
okay
It was a
okay
tough one.
I
Also, I
guess
think second was Yagya because Yagya 3 is like a reset button. I had to
correct
start something new.
correct
It's not easy to work on a character
hmm.
when two issues have already been published. And I didn't have the enough materials to carry the story forward from the first two issues. So I had
correct
to kind of restart
uh-huh.
the story again.
This is a very generic question but where do you get your ideas from
क्या पूछ रहे हैं? Oh my god. This is gonna be the most boring podcast you ever did actually. But नहीं, it depends यार कभी वो
हाँ
न्यूज़पेपर कभी कुछ न्यूज़पेपर से मिल जाता है.
okay
इनफैक्ट मेरे को just recently for Satyug, planning forward for Satyug,
हाँ
Nikki had sent me a snippet of a article
हाँ
And the same thing my dad had sent me. That was very rare. My dad sending me a kind of an article
हाँ,
that ये शायद तेरे को काम आए.
okay,
It was a crime case about a detective, but and Mickey sent me the same thing 2 days later.
okay, okay.
So sometimes you get your ideas from newspaper or anything. It can be anything. Just
Right.
a little. Like for example, the place that I'm at now,
Hmm.
Bodrio in Italy.
Correct.
Every Tuesday they have a flea market.
Huh.
Tuesday and Saturdays they have a flea market, and you will find a lot of things.
Okay.
uh, from miniatures, small miniatures which are interesting to collect, से लेके इतना बड़ा ग्रामोफोन भी सब बेचने के लिए रखा है. कम पैसे में तुम ले सकते हो उधर.
Okay.
And they have a food flea market,
Huh.
a food flea market जहाँ पे तुम लोग खा सकते हैं and all that. You can, in fact, they will, people from other towns and our other this thing places or from the south of Italy will
Correct.
come to the north and sell their stuff.
Okay.
And I saw someone selling a small, a fresh seafood.
Okay.
Fresh, they will prepare it in front of you and they will give it to you.
Right. Right.
Now, for some, I cannot tell you the absurd idea I got, but in 2 days I'll be discussing that with Mickey. भाई ये कोई idea मिला है. Sometimes you get something. It
Right.
can range from absurd to really brilliant.
Correct.
Brilliant तक तो मैं touch किया नहीं है, and I'm telling you very honestly, it is always absurd.
Correct. How emotionally invested are you in your stories?
A lot.
That was a very short answer, but okay.
Immtionally bit because I need some. I कभी कभी गुस्सा आता है मेरे खुद के ऊपर. ये
हाँ,
क्या हो रहा है, ये अच्छे से लिख नहीं पा रहा हूँ, या मैं कभी कभी होता भी है
correct.
कि मैं मेरा गुस्सा किसी और के ऊपर निकालता हूँ. That's not a good thing to do.
Correct.
Sometimes I give my scripts to a friend of mine and she reads it. कभी उसके ऊपर गुस्सा निकाल देता हूँ.
Okay.
So they know now, by now they know कि अगर मैं गुस्सा निकाल रहा हूँ, then I'm just being cranky.
हाँ.
It's one of my days. And कुछ नहीं है, ठीक हो जाएगा. From a bulldog to puppy dog, क्या आएगा वो, हो जाता है ठीक. So emotionally invested, you have to, it's your craft. I mean, at least for me, it's my job.
Correct.
You have to be a certain, क्या बोलते हैं, थोड़ा तो,
हाँ.
you have to maintain a certain discipline towards your job.
Correct. Which comics do you not like?
I don't, I don't know. For some reason, I have not read any of those normal Marvel comics. बहुत time हो गया.
हाँ. Okay.
Uh,
X-Men or
नहीं, अभी मेरे को interesting नहीं लगता वो.
हाँ, Daredevil.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Correct.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have to ask Kailash if he gets time to read, or maybe I'll have to ask Vivek reads Vivek Goel reads a lot of. I see his Facebook and he reads a lot of comic books.
Correct.
I don't know. So sometimes if I have to get back to reading some superheroes, I'll have to drop him a message. क्या पढ़ते हो? Otherwise, I'll have to ask Ravi if he gets time. But now I still don't find them interesting.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. The quite a few European comic books which I love. It is just unfortunate that I will not understand a jack shit about it because मेरे को language नहीं पता. I don't know the language. But still, when you look at the images
Correct.
and the way they have actually told a story with the panels, it is beautiful.
Okay. Out of everything you've written, right? Is there anything you've written that you feel should be getting a lot more love from people than it is already getting?
You prepared all these questions क्या मतलब यार कल रात को सोचना रहेगा यार इसको टकले को आज मैं पकड़ने वाला है इसके ऊपर I don't know it could have been this thing Salem Manja and Dracula के बीच में toss होगा.
Acha, okay. Yeah, Dracula, I don't think as many people are talking about it as the rest of your comics. People are talking about Salem Manja. People are
I don't even know if people are talking about my comics. अभी मेरे को पता चला. Okay. But I feel Dracula is something because it was during the pandemic that we started off on that idea.
Correct.
It was during the pandemic. I think Ravi was in Mumbai. He was in Mumbai.
Okay. back then,
And
right?
pandemic for everyone involved was a very
Yeah,
tough period for all of us.
yeah.
We had nothing to do. I did not have anything to do, and I just started writing some stuff because
Huh,
you know कुछ माइंड का फकअप करने से तो अच्छा है कि भाई तुम
correct.
कुछ लिखो, टाइप करो, कुछ भी
Huh,
करो.
huh.
And it is in that time that I got the idea for Dracula.
Okay,
So I would say yes, Dracula. Okay, I think yeah, I think it also garnered some negative this thing as well.
okay. I don't
Yeah, yeah. That's a good thing you don't know.
know.
It garnered some negative, not negative responses from the reader. There was a certain controversy about it, but it's okay, no problem.
Okay, okay.
मेरे को थोड़ा आदमी लोग ने गाली दिया, but ठीक है, कुछ नया नहीं है हम लोग के लिए.
Wow. Okay.
मेरा my dad would have been very surprised. यार तुम एक टाइम में लोगों को गाली देता था, अभी तुम गाली खा के जाते हो और तुम कुछ बोलते भी नहीं हो. मतलब ठीक है, यू आर रियली गेटिंग ओल्ड नाउ.
Old. Yeah. So basically, Dracula, you would
Have you
have.
read Dracula?
I have, yeah. I've read. You only written one part, right? You haven't written
I
part
have
two.
written one. No, I have written one, but
Huh.
the work on part two is going on.
Huh, exactly.
What did you think of the part one?
I personally, I didn't like it all that much. For some reason, I don't know why I didn't
Yeah.
like it. I,
Hmm.
I, I thought it was too rushed.
Hmm.
बहुत जल्दी जल्दी में स्टोरी बोल दिया खत्म करने के लिए इतने पेजेस में इतना खत्म कर दिया तो
I hope रवि ये पेजेस का मेरे को बहुत मिलता है. मेरे को रवि को पकड़ना पड़ेगा. मेरा पेज बड़ा हो,
आई थिंक ही
पेज बड़ा हो, गायतम देसाई, पेज बड़ा हो.
इंक्रीज कर रहा है ना वो अभी आई थिंक ही इज इंक्रीजिंग
I think, yeah, I think so, yes. I think yes, he's going around like what, 40, 44 maybe. I don't know. I
हाँ
don't know, but I understand if even if there are limitations, I understand his point of view.
हाँ ट्रू
But yeah, I was given a strict
हाँ
number of points, so I had to finish on that.
करेक्ट करेक्ट आई थॉट इट वाज टू रश्ड आई डिडंट थिंक a lot of scenes felt like अरे ये जल्दी स्टार्ट हो गया खत्म भी हो गया इतना जल्दी कैसे खत्म हो गया
Hmm,
that's what I felt but
Oh,
you
no.
have done just as in fact so much better on Incognito than on Dracula and it's the same number of pages maybe fewer I'm not sure is it fewer pages or
I think so, yes. Maybe fewer. Maybe.
fewer pages right yeah because it feels like a very short comic
Incognito, because the whole idea was, every story should come across as a self-contained story.
yeah
See, we have
that's
not reached that this thing yet. कि
right.
हम part wise निकाल सकते हैं. So
Correct.
at least चलो, tomorrow if one guy decides to read Incognito 2,
Huh.
it's easy for him to go back to Incognito 1.
Okay.
That was the whole idea of it. So I just wanted to create a character जिसका थोड़ा एक supernatural origins है. I mean, the supernatural was added something. I would say I added it later.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, so that's how whole this thing started actually. So supernatural करना है मेरे को.
Huh.
And उसके बाद तो in fact I think in future it goes on a supernatural scale.
I
It goes
liked
on a
Incognito 1 a lot. I don't know why, but I liked it a lot. And
अच्छा.
I don't know if I like 2
it,
if you're saying it goes full
it's if
supernatural.
this is coming from you, no, I don't know. Now perhaps now you may not like it, but
I don't know.
this has gone on a record that Ashwin Kalmani loves Incognito 1.
1.
Okay.
Huh.
After all these years.
Uh,
That's cool.
yeah. I like some of your other works also. I think I've read Zalim Manja. So the part 1, right? Zalim Manja 1. I felt for some reason I felt like I had already heard that story before somewhere. I don't know where, but I've already heard that story somewhere. For some reason, that's what I thought. Zalim Manja 2, I think, gets a lot better, where he goes into that the brothel and he tries to find out who's murdering all those people. I thought that was quite nice. It was very nicely done.
But
I haven't.
Zalim Manja 1, oh my god, it was going to be a lesser page actually, 24 pages initially.
Yeah. I know
Initially, can I still say it again? Like, can I repeat it?
You can say it as many times as you want.
One night, this guy, you know whom we are talking about, right?
Yeah.
Bloody bugger calls me up and say, हमको page add करना पड़ेगा.
Yeah.
He tells me to add the page, and he was right also. ठीक है, but ये पहले नहीं बोल सकता था. And that's how actually वो 28 pages तक गया.
I think it's better for it. I think
हम्म
कम पेजेस में अच्छा नहीं आता था वो.
हाँ, कम पेजेस में अच्छा नहीं था, एंड लाइक आई थिंक was that the comic after the pandemic? I'm not sure.
नहीं नहीं
तभी
नहीं नहीं,
नहीं,
that was before the pandemic.
that
Zaliman
अच्छा
2 was,
before.
right? That was
हाँ,
before the pandemic.
अच्छा, that was I think कम pages, like yeah, you're right.
Hmm.
Salimanja 2, I had an idea कि इसको
हाँ,
again I just wanted to add a little bit of crime and investigation, but then अगर वो ज्यादा करेगा then the
हाँ,
whole supernatural thing कम होगा. So I
correct.
don't know. I don't think I maintain a good balance of crime and supernatural. But I
I
wanted to make the characters, especially though that lady from the brothel, the
हाँ,
madam of the brothel, I
correct.
wanted to give her more this thing. So was again page constraints. Mein, now whatever justice you can do, you'll have to do it.
I liked it. I liked part 2 a lot more than. Do you research a lot before writing any books? Like, is there any
Yes,
research that goes into your book, or is
sometimes yes. If
huh?
it's if it's touching a certain historical event, if
Correct.
it's touching a certain science or something,
Huh.
yes, it's better to research.
Okay.
And for the sake of creative liberties, तुम तोड़ मरोड़ तो सकते हो, because कॉमिक में यार
Correct.
एक बात है, कॉमिक तुम्हारा सुपरमैन मर के जिंदा होता है, कोई पूछता नहीं है.
Right.
वो चड्डी पहनता है, नहीं पहनता है, कभी पहनता नहीं है, कोई पूछता नहीं. इंडियन कॉमिक्स में इफ यू डू accepting the research, accepting that कि ये हुआ है, but I'm just taking a certain creative, and people will start asking questions to you. I don't know why, but yeah, research is important. If I'm writing a historical story, yes.
Hmm. Okay. So, of all your content, right, everything that you've written,
Mhm.
I have noticed that you haven't written a lot of female characters. You have written
Okay.
Yagya, but
Yeah.
that was more an action sort of thing than anything else. So
Yeah.
is that actively happening, or is it that you don't want to explore anything, or is that just an unconscious thing that's just happened? You didn't ask for it, you didn't do anything, it just sort of played out like it played out.
In fact, I'm writing in fact, I'm writing a story for Radiant Comics.
Huh? For?
Radiant Comics.
Acha,
In
हाँ.
fact, I'm writing a story. हाँ, उनके लिए मैं एक लिख रहा हूँ, जहाँ पे
With a female.
protagonist एक female. Yes.
Okay, okay,
Again a superhero genre,
right.
but the protagonist is a female.
Female. Okay, okay.
And हाँ, but only thing is that again, वो बहुत plot heavy है वो. It's very
Okay,
plot heavy. Like there is a certain thing that has been going on, an event that is going.
okay.
And, it's at least that's a start for me. If
Okay.
I get to write something more with more, lot of more female-centric characters, perhaps. Let's see.
हाँ,
But it's yeah, I think that's at least that will break कि भाई मैं वो तो कर
हाँ,
रहा हूँ with a female protagonist and a female lead.
correct. A general question now. What are your female what are your favorite comics?
One of my favorite comics, Indian or which one?
Let's divide it into two, Indian and then non-Indian.
Which one do you want me to go for first?
Indian first.
Indian में यार, I still for Doga is something that I would like to write again.
I kind of
I don't,
expected.
I don't have a idea right now.
हाँ.
I need to explore. I
Hmm.
hope Sanjay ji is watching this. मैं अभी भी interested हूँ Doga लिखने के लिए, but I don't have an idea. So someone will have to tell me, yeah, this is an idea. देख लो if you can explore this. Then I'll think I can go wild with it.
Okay,
And Bahadur is again.
of course.
Bahadur is still a favorite.
हाँ.
I also, I mean, and I'm saying this without this thing. I love the stuff that you're writing. A lot
Mine?
of people say that, yeah. I mean, I
Right,
love the stuff that you're writing. I've read Raj Rahman.
right. That's one of my better stories, not one of my worst ones.
So, but it's good. See how you're treated it. It's very nice. It took me to the era of 80s.
हाँ, correct.
You know, uh, I also had told Ravi कि ये सब readers को कितना अच्छा लगे पता नहीं, because उसमें कोई धूम धड़क्का नहीं है.
Correct,
And I'm saying this with all due respect.
correct.
Don't get me wrong.
Right.
उसमें वो loudness नहीं है.
Correct.
So how many people will enjoy it? तो मेरे को पता नहीं. But it's good. मेरे को अच्छा लगा.
Correct.
I think I mean, I also enjoyed Codename Alpha. Was good.
Okay.
काफी अच्छे से treat किया था.
Okay.
I mean, काफी सारे हैं यार. I mean, तो मेरे को पढ़ने में I see them online, but अभी मैं यहाँ पे खरीद तो नहीं सकता. यहाँ से मेरा ऑर्डर कर भी नहीं सकता. उतना महंगा पड़ेगा मेरे को. I'm in a
Correct.
different place altogether.
Right.
So I had received Raj Rahman a copy of it at least before I came here.
Left. Correct. अब
तो
जब इंडिया आओगे तभी ले लो सब.
हाँ, मेरे को मेरा खुद का कॉपी लेना है गया 4 का. I think the Killing Joke, Batman Killing Joke is one of my favorites.
Yeah. Okay. I can see
Long
that.
Halloween,
हाँ.
Killing Joke, Long Halloween, V for Vendetta, Watchmen,
हाँ.
काफी सारे हैं. ये सब तो हैं.
Correct.
Some of the European comics that I've read,
Okay.
Incal, Metabarons, Incal, काफी सारे हैं.
Correct.
These are some of the best that I've read.
Okay.
These are the few that I've read.
Okay. What is most, like, in your whole writing process, what's the most difficult part of it? Like, what do you find most difficult in the whole writing process?
Getting it approved. Does it even make sense if I reply that? I don't know. मेरे को actually the best idea is,
Huh.
I think I've got most of my ideas when I'm having a nice shower.
Okay.
I don't know whether it makes sense.
It does actually. Yeah. A lot of people
Because I'm
have ideas when they having a shower.
shower,
Huh.
shower में हो या कहीं toilet में आके बैठे हो या कुछ भी हो, that is your throne of ideas.
Correct.
That is where I get most of my this thing. And the difficult process now
Huh.
is to at least put those ideas एक proper this thing finalize नहीं कर सकते. Sometimes it's again the process इतना बड़ा है. There's no one, for me at least personally, there's no one specific difficult part.
Okay.
So many things in one. So for me there's no specifically ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. I cannot pinpoint to anything that is more difficult.
Okay.
काफी सारे हैं. कभी कभी अच्छे से हो जाता है. कभी it takes time.
Correct.
I don't have a clear cut answer to that question.
That's fine. Have you ever dealt with negativity in your writing process? Like, have you ever had any sort of negative thoughts or negative? I don't know why I'm asking you this question also. It's such a dumb question.
Negative thoughts.
Huh.
Like what? You want to kill people? You want to
If that
maim
is the kind
people?
of stuff you want to think about, then sure, why not?
Yeah, but I mean, what you write, you can only write. You cannot do it in real life. But yeah, I think I put a lot of anger in my script,
Huh.
or at least try to.
Okay.
2 days back, I think Mickey told me that you need to put some more emotions in your comic book. I don't know. I said, emotions as in, what do you want me to do? Like, I mean, I am writing from the point of view of a character.
Right.
Perhaps you thought, exaggerated, maybe more. I don't know.
Correct.
But yeah, negative emotions sometimes yes, but it's better not to put too much of it.
Okay.
वरना मेरे को जेल में डाल देगा.
Okay.
ना किसी को गाली वाली देने आए या किसी को कुछ, तो उसको कॉमिक बुक कैरेक्टर बना देने का, फिर उसको जी बढ़ के उसको गाली देने का, जो भी करना है कर सकते हो. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose putting your characters, putting real life people into characters is a nice way of dealing with whatever you have to deal with.
Yeah, but as long as it's not a politician, as long as it's not some religious head, it's better. If you do that, you're screwed. That is not something I would recommend. बाकी ठीक है, चलो अभी मेरे को किसी को पर अभी सुनो, कल मेरा और किसी पब्लिशर का पंगा हो गया, मैं उसको कैरेक्टर बना दूंगा उसके कॉमिक में.
So, of all the characters that you've written, which one was most difficult to write? Which character was most difficult to write? Like Zalim Manja or Yagya or Incognito or Yug or Satya and Yuga
Satya,
are two different people.
two different people.
Huh,
Two different people. Yeah. Two different.
So, which one was most difficult to write? Or even some of your older works, where you've written hitmen who are going around killing people. Or I think
But that Hitman thing is
you've written a thing for Holy Cow also, right?
Solomon. Yes. Yes.
Correct, Solomon.
Yes. Yeah. Solomon. In fact, Solomon, I had the entire story in mind, and I don't know why Vivek did not pursue it. That only he can answer. But I had the entire era of 80s in my entire head. It's actually more about Mumbai in 80s.
Okay.
And the Solomon being more like a secondary this thing.
Huh.
But the principal for me at that time, principal character, or rather say, the entire primary factor was Mumbai of that era and transition of Mumbai from that era to this.
Okay.
And Solomon के point of view से बोला जाता है.
Right.
The things that is obviously his rise in the crime underworld and all that.
Right. You should write that. I mean, if not for Vivek, at least for somebody else with another name in mind. You can.
Yeah, I think in fact I have a idea to do about it actually. I have क्या है मेरे मन में वो है.
Okay.
It's in my head.
Okay.
Because now again coming to the question, your question, toughness. I would just say that difficult. I put little bit of my personality traits in all the characters.
Okay.
Zalim Manja is this thing. I was actually shy in college. I was shy in college. In fact, it is only now in recent times after socializing with my friends in the badminton group. I mean, I have a badminton group. I can crack a joke and get away with it because they know that he doesn't mean any ill.
Correct.
उसका कोई मतलब गलती है. It was in recent times में ऐसा. कॉलेज और स्कूल में तो मैं बहुत काफी चुप था. इतना बोरिंग कॉलेज लाइफ था मेरा. ऐसा कुछ खास नहीं था. So Zalim Manja is that what I would have wanted to be, loud and this thing. थोड़ा creative. This thing of yeah. Incognito is this anguish that I had for some time in my life. Satya and Yoga, again, I would not call it my trait. But again, from a character's point of view, I wanted to both of them to be different from each other.
Okay.
जो आज का जो youth है, जो आज का जो present generation of youth है, I would see that is more of Yug. They are more smart. They are more smart. Their life is a bit easy because of the technological advance that they are living in, the era that Satya is more of the generation that lived in the era of Qayamat se Qayamat tak.
Right.
The guys who used to go out and play and come back home.
Correct.
That kind of there. So again, a little bit of me in all of them.
Correct. I don't know what my initial question was because I forgot what it was, but I guess this is a good enough answer to whatever that question was.
I don't even know if I gave a good enough answer because normally मैं जब लिखता हूँ तो मैं लिखता हूँ कि भाई थोड़ा मैं इधर डाल देता हूँ how to ऐसा ये है because there's a certain responsibility that I have. भाई इसको मेरे को interesting बनाना है. Not saying that it will sell a lot or it will be a hit or it will be a this. But at least someone should pick up and say yeah it's okay, it's nice.
Correct.
Just, I don't know. इतना सोचता नहीं. I'm not like you. I don't think so much.
I don't think either. It might look like it, but I don't. There's a saying, you if you want to write, right, and you want to write what you like reading, then you should write only for yourself. Whereas if you want to write for the masses, you have to write what they want. Right? What do you think you write for? Like, who do you write for? Primarily.
There have been stories that I have written for myself. There have been stories that I have written for the masses.
Okay.
So for me, it's a mix of both.
Okay. Okay. All right.
And I think, like I said, stories you should write for yourself also. You should write a little bit for the masses also. There's nothing wrong about it.
Yeah.
I believe in both of them.
Okay.
I haven't reached that this thing कि मैं बोलूँ नहीं अभी मेरे लिए कुछ लिखना है. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. There's a story that I want to write. मेरे पास एक idea है. मैं लिखूंगा.
Correct.
It can be for the masses. It can be for myself. It can be I can एंजॉय, थोड़ा इंडल्ज, मेरे को आजकल थोड़ा इंडल्ज इंडल्ज थोड़ा उसमें इन्वॉल्व होने को, थोड़ा इंडल्ज होने को अच्छा लगता है. I am actually writing stories that is connected with Swayambhu and connected with Bullseye.
Correct.
So someone, if अगर वो थोड़ा पढ़ेगा कि हाँ ये बैकग्राउंड में मैंने ऐसा देखा था, वो so I want that reader to realize that okay, these are all happening in the same year.
Okay.
I'm just having fun with it. That's all.
Good. I think that's important.
Exactly. That is important.
Yeah.
The wonderful thing about our profession is we can enjoy our craft at times.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes it can be a pain in the ass.
True. This is also true. Yeah.
It is a fact. Sometimes it can be a pain in the ass, and sometimes we can have fun also. It gives us both, gives us best of both the worlds.
True. The very last question I would like to ask you is, what advice do you have to give people who are just getting into this field? You know, who are just beginning either writing or getting into comics.
This is the advice that I received as from an artist who's
Okay.
right behind. Don't draw from comics, don't copy draw from comics, and don't think that you can learn anatomy by just copy drawing from comics.
Correct.
No, that's a big no. Draw things around you. It can be a normal book or a lamp or any object in your house, ranging from that to people that you see around bus stations, airports, trains. Draw from life. And at the same time, then you can go through some books to learn anatomy. This is the best advice I can give to the people who are aspiring to be a comic artist. You don't copy draw from comic books.
Correct.
To the writers, just express yourself. Express yourself. You just write. Express yourself. Just write. Express yourself. If you are good, if you are rich enough to go for some writing course or enroll into some college where you can learn the course, go ahead, do it. Otherwise, मेरी तरह मतलब सीखो, लिखो, गिरो, सीखो, गिरो, गिरो, गाली खाओ, सीखो, गाली खाओ, सीखो. That's the best advice I'll give you. And for writers also, at the initial stage of your writing career, it's very easy and it's very natural for you to get inspired uh, and influenced by the people whose work you love.
Correct.
For example, I read Frank Miller's Sin City. I was inspired by it. Everything became very heavy noir for me, even when I was writing that
Correct.
story about that assassin, that hitman.
Correct.
It was when now looking back, maybe I can say, okay, I can treat it a bit differently.
Okay.
I can treat it with the assassin in this big city of Mumbai.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a crime story. The focus would be on his profession. Him killing people, him coming in contact with so many people. It can be on that.
Okay. Okay.
So writers as well, just don't read comic books and say मैं लिख सकता हूँ ऐसा मैंने. No, read everything.
Correct.
Read about people, read about places, travel a lot. Only in recent months I have learned traveling is the best way to get a lot of story ideas.
Yeah.
It took me it I learned it the hard way.
You learned it
And
after 40 years?
Someone made me realize. Yes, I'm 38, but
right, almost.
almost. So yeah. So it was Laura who taught me, traveling helps you to collect the source you can use in your writing. And it's the same for your artist as well.
Correct.
The artist can wherever. So travel whenever you get time, read a lot books, places, learn about places, and write. Just keep writing. Even if it's a paragraph for one day, write it.
Yeah.
I mean, before we sign off, there's this thing I would like to use your platform. There are some people that I would like to thank too.
Yes.
There are people who have helped me. I'm not saying that कि ऐसे मुकाम पे तो पहुंचा नहीं है, बिल्कुल नहीं. But there are things that I've learned from them. There are things I would like to thank Ravi for giving me info. The whole thing, writing thing again started off with Inferno.
Correct.
I would like to thank Mickey Bhupinder. He has a great deal of patience with me. Deep Joy, again, he is a very good talent, and I hope the humbleness that he has now, it stays with him for a long time. People change.
Of course.
People change. And obviously, there are a lot of readers out there who have been liking my stuff. There are quite a few of my friends who have not read my stuff, but they know what I do. They have been motivating me a lot. One of my persons that in this far weeks have been a bit, we creative people have a lot of mood swings. So two people will have to deal with it a lot. There's Laura, who's just standing behind me.
Right.
She had to deal with it a lot, so I actually want to thank her. And there is Mageshwari. We exchange. She's a friend of mine, and we exchange scripts. She gives me ideas. Sometimes बोलता है ये बेकार लिखा है, मैं उसको गाली देता हूँ, वो मेरे को गाली देता है. So I want to thank her because I have been, मेरा mood swing उसके ऊपर निकल गया. So I need to thank her. And back home, there's a bunch of my badminton friends, all of them. I miss them a lot. I just want to thank them for being friends and tolerating an idiot like me, a lovable idiot like me.
You added the lovable.
Yeah, okay. इतना बेइज्जती भी करना अच्छा नहीं है. So I just wanted to selfishly use this platform to at least thank all of them. Last but not least, my dad and my brother, my bhavi. Dad for giving me Batman comics. He knew that I was not good in studies, but so yeah, thank you so much. And also, thank you for having me, man. I mean, I think this is one of the most boring interviews that you ever did.
No,
I'm sorry. If you really want me to spice up the conversation next time, all I need to do is have 2 or more shots. Once I get high, I'm absolutely a different person.
No, this is fine. All right. Thank you for listening to the video. Subscribe to it, whatever else there is to it. And I think that's all. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Manoj.
Yeah, bye.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.